إيمانويل أكسيدنت اتنرابا ناشا ليطي متبصل طاقة شكلي اتلا نسيانة بدانا كيسس الانجري لو و بيالباية قريمة إن آتن ينكل بتت بيتا خزموخن يطانة اتلوخن بوقارة مخبرون المنيان التلفون 8 أربع شوا وچا 8 تري وچا 5 خا اشتا يعني توكن بيت injuryrights.com شمي إلى توني كالاغراكس كي يمزمن لشان خلية ديما.
Good afternoon. How are you? Basima khacha khmallokon minnan itwalan khak masababe logistical room issue. What's an Assyrian convention without delays, right? Delays and keep a what?
Check.
Anyways, I'm very excited that we have this group of esteemed panelists among us for Drop the Beat. But thank you all for joining us today. We're exploring the past, the present, and the future of Assyrian music, especially with AI, and how it interacts with the global music world. And we have an incredible panel with us today. They're all going to introduce themselves, and let me start with my left, and we'll continue from there.
أنا شمي Ashur Dawood. شاون أنزمار سورا لخا. تلقانا دوتن من نوخن من أكدي تنتية أنك ما يوماني رابع بخمالخ. لخ بغزايا شوق من خبة ويعني لبا نخدايا لتغزايا هاد خمديانة وخلقا خيتا تلقارة أم أخنواتي كلها تينا لخ رمسن وكلها أخينا. أوتم بسينا.
Shalom Aleichem. My name is Ramsen Sheeno. I've been an Assyrian singer for 30 years going, and اتلي قارب كلهم هاوتم بسيم رابع قضية شتى Mr. Peter وبخيلت على مصلوخلهم خيالت كلهم هاوتم بسيمة.
Shalom Aleichem. My name is Michael Badal. I've been a producer and mix engineer in the pop and dance world for the last 20 years or so. And I'm really happy to be here with you guys and all of the panelists here.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out. First of all, I want to thank Peter for doing this. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you.
My name is Ano. I am a DJ. I've been DJing for about 15 years now. I got a team that works with me. We do a lot of events and weddings throughout the year. So,
all right, thank you, everyone. So each of our panelists today brings a very unique perspective to the music and the art that they shape. Some of you are shaping the modern sound of Assyrian music, while others are working in the broader pop and dance world. So together, and we want to make this as interactive as possible, but together we'll ask, how do these worlds inspire each other and what can we learn from both? So the first kind of section that I want to start with is origins and inspirations. So Ramsen Sheeno, let's start with you. Let's start at the beginning. What inspired you to first make music?
To be honest, at the age of 5, I was in Chicago. My parents used to take me to different events, parties, weddings, things like that. And then I just in my brain, I just like music. And I started getting up on stage with all the legendary singers. I started playing a fake guitar. It was like a plastic guitar. And I used to act like I was the guitarist. And one day, he told me, I grabbed his jacket and I said, Rabi, we have to take a break. I'm really tired. He said, Makhan, guitar di by a break. So we have to take a break. But what inspired me was because it was in Assyrian music. My parents had a lot to do with it, from taking me to events, that produced beautiful songs that we still listen to and that we still sing till this day. So really that's my inspiration.
Thank you. Michael, what was your inspiration to make music?
So for me, although my work isn't in the Assyrian world, my start was in the Assyrian world. My uncle was a regional singer, Robert Khanishan, and growing up with him, obviously doing what he does, going to all the different parties and things like that, it was always something I wanted to do, and he was very supportive of it. My family's been very supportive of that. So from there, I picked up percussion, and from that point, self-taught piano, and then dance music essentially took over my life when I was like 6 or 7. So that's essentially where I ended up.
Ashur, what inspired you to start making music or singing?
أنا خبت ميوزك تمر رامسن القربة من دمن دي يعني خبت ميوزك أنا رابي مخبنوا يعني بتخانن زمرت قامت تقام لبنا إيوة ناخا legendary زمارة جورج همه قطمانسا وخرتها هر ميوزك أو خشماي قبيتها هر Assyrian music so وخلولان دان أزخوا بتخارن وعراق دان أزخوا يالي سورة وطولة أنا بسوي إنه كل يوم خزايب بان so أيه وأنا من سورتي رشنوا يعني تراب خبة connection من music أتوراي فأيه وأنا جورج هومي was the first زمارة تشميلي يعني لبلي زمارة دي.
Okay. DJ Anna, what inspired you to first make music?
For me, I think music on its own has its own language. I think it inspires everybody. You can't run into somebody that hates music. Everybody loves music. They go to events, they go to parties to have fun. So growing up, I was going to weddings, going to events. We've been to events that these guys here sing. And my father is a musician as well. He plays percussion and drums. And it just inspired me to just continue to do what I like to do. And I love music, and it connected me. And then here we are today, sitting here talking in front of all you guys. So.
Okay, I'm going to move on to tradition and evolution. So obviously, a lot of Assyrians, they talk about that the golden era of Assyrian music was from the 70s and the 80s. Sargon Gabriel, Ashur Betsergis, Iwan Agassi, Jermaine Tamiras, countless of other singers that have shaped the path that we're on today for what we call Assyrian music, which borrowed heavily from funk, from global sounds, disco, folk pop. That blending created a timeless sound that we still listen to today and really have this nostalgic feeling. So I'm going to open this up to the panel. What lessons do we take from that era, and how can we apply it to the music for today?
Anyone?
I could jump in on that. So what you just said in the question is, at that time, in that time and space of what pop music was doing here in the States, our legends that shaped our sound were borrowing from that familiarity that we were hearing on the radio and using that as an influence to blend. One thing that I think we could do is look at what is prevalent now in our global music space and bring that same fusion in. Whether that be like right now there's like Afrobeat or house, EDM, that kind of thing. Bringing that in with our melodies, our instrumentation, and having that fusion can spark, honestly, almost like a renaissance within our own music.
I agree, actually. And so what we take from the older music, older generation music, is the quality of lyrics, the quality of music, which today, some of it is due to not having the correct musicians on stage or in recordings. That's one. Our biggest problem right now, honestly, it's the stage. We don't have a full band on stage. A lot of us, most of us actually, 99% of us. We play with two-man bands and we're trying to put together a band, but the problem is with the band, a lot of people don't understand, is we have to have practices 2-3 times a week to get like good music. You have to have practices. This is not the 80s where it was easy, they were all friends, they used to hang out in a garage and play and everything sounded great. It's different dynamic right now. So, you know, and we stick to our traditions with our music, our culture, our hawaze, khabrana basime, but also we try to incorporate new things, like you mentioned EDM. I have a few songs that I've done in the house area, EDM area. You know, I've done a lot of different funk styles over the last 30 years. So I think as more we can incorporate the new with the old, but we have to keep that old feeling, that old, you know, that old sound, right? So people like that. Why do people still listen to the old songs, right? They listen to the old songs because even my generation and younger than me, right? They listen to the 80s and 90s songs because they're beautiful songs, beautiful lyrics, they sound great, the recordings are more analog, they're not so much digital as today.
Yeah.
That plays a big role as well.
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback off of what Ramsen was saying, I agree. We want to keep the tradition going. We want to make sure everyone listens to the legends from the past. Rest in peace, Evan. You know, we want to make sure, you know, everyone loves the music and we want to put our own little flavor. Every one of us have our unique ways of putting music together and we want you guys to hear it out there and you guys to enjoy it every now and then. And just like he said, he plays EDM songs. Mike does his own music. Ashur is making his own music, and for me on my end of DJing, we like to do a lot of mashup musics and make it different, more modernized. I have a team as well together, a producer and other DJs where we get together. It's not a one-person thing, you know, it's a bunch of minds that come together to create something really nice for all the Assyrians to listen to, you know, from now on till the end of time. So we got to keep it going.
Ashur? I'm going to pivot real quick. Michael, from your vantage point in the global market and in terms of the production that you do, does this mirror how other cultures have reinvented their music for the new generation or for new generations?
Yeah, essentially we have been following that playbook in the Assyrian music community, just like we were talking about this golden age where it borrowed from new sounds. Some of the things that I could think of is, for instance, there's a Belgian singer named Stromae. He actually used Zorna Dawood on one of his latest songs on his album.
Yeah.
And it literally sounds like a Khigga Yakura beat, but the way it was done, it still sounded very pop, very modern. And he was singing in French. Another thing I could point out is how many songs that have become popular in another culture that people within the Middle East have taken, borrowed, either interpolated the melody and came up with new lyrics, but essentially have redone the song to make it more popular for our people. Like for instance, Eliana has done a bunch of remakes. You've got, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this Armenian song that was really popular over the last couple of years, Migana, that basically is a 50 Cent beat. And makes it palatable for the younger generations while still maintaining the roots of our ethnicity, our melodies, our language. And there is success there, and we've seen success with that within our own culture. But I guess our willingness to innovate and the willingness as the listeners to accept new ideas and allow our artists to try something new and be open to receiving it, I think is something that we can move forward within our own Assyrian community.
Okay, thank you. I want to move to the next session. Is there anyone else that wants to add? Khamandi Boye? No? Ramsen's hungry. He almost left us. He was like, I forgot I had a panel. I was in an Uber. He's like, I'm in an Uber.
You took an Uber, you turned back.
All right, so the next section we'll talk about is reaching audiences. So how, in terms of music today, can connect across different cultures, languages, and generations. How do you approach building that connection, whether it's with the Assyrian community, the diaspora, or with a global audience? And I'll start with Ashur. How do you connect with younger Assyrians? How do you build that bridge?
هذا كل من دوية لمختيطة easy to use in our phones, social media. So with that being said, بغزايخ ملت خينا موينا وادا. So باليابخ مختمرة رمسن كل مرون من legends دي موينا ويدا قم شنة يعني قم تلاقي شنة. So من دوم دي بقنايخ وخرطة بغزايخ ملت خينا موينا وادا. We're trying to come up with something with our own touch. قد ما دخل generation دي. خرطة لما سخشخل بخلي كل concept meaning اتناشى I know يشمخ أخني يعني هاو خلولانة يجو حفلات أمري زورنا مخت yesterday أنا مرش لي بغزاين وا music ديان ها جرك أودخ مليانة قد ما دخ young generation but لما سخ شغلخ لكل من دي يعني مخ رابنا شميخ مختن مارا أمري رابي مبلخ زورنا وهدخا but بغزايخ قابولنا openنيخ مبلخ زورنا go certain songs but نطايخ younger generation so ده أرخا من ملت خينا متينا وادا produce من زمارة قمنا متينا ويدا وادا ميكس مصايخ ما دخلنا الناشئ.
Okay. Ramsen, how do you approach building that connection? سبيطن آت وعاشر تروي توخن يازيتن العراق انتي لخبنيسان انتي لخلولانة مشتوياته. So how do you keep that connection? The music you create here, keeping that connection go أطرا يعني إيه كتوايا من سوراي خينا.
Believe it or not, Atra is really advanced now regarding like our communities, people having jobs, music, mishtuyate. As a matter of fact, the events that Zamrakh go Arbel, for example, I use Arbel as an example, actually they're well put together, way better than we have here. If you haven't seen it, just please go and look up our events that we have there. It's just crazy. It's like you're singing an American concert with the lighting, with the stage, with the sound, with all kinds of stuff. So we go from here to there. All we can do is just try to do the best kind of genre, right? For what's today's language in music, right? منطقة أرخا إلى بزمرة وبخبرانة again with هوازة ليلة خامندي like we can change on the fly, but it's very important again that we take our expertise, take them to there, and then kind of collaborate من زمارة تاما, من musicians تاما, because really there's some great singers Goatra that sing, great singers that you probably never heard of because they have no outlet, or little zuze or these mariate, because mariate these days, each song to produce one song costs about $2,000, not including the music video. A lot of people don't understand these things, so we have to kind of collaborate with them. That we don't know, it's it's kind of give and take نختم.
For me, I'd say to answer your question about reaching a new audience, a younger audience. As you all know, the way we consume media now has completely changed. Like when I was younger and I first heard of Ramsen Sheeno, it was because someone had gone and physically picked up one of his CDs, and that's how we heard his music. And then it was word of mouth. Hey, everybody go check out Ramsen's new album.
Or they upload it to like Napster or something
Yeah,
like that.
but it wasn't.
Yeah, I
back
feel
then,
old.
yeah, I mean, back then we weren't so connected on mobile devices. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, I think part of the strategy for reaching the younger generation and doing that is having our artists create almost like a social media strategy, content that they can share and build an audience for, and essentially you'd be able to reach your audience quicker and easier and gain that fandom again, because I feel like, I mean, I know I'm speaking generalizations here, but it feels like the younger generation isn't as word of mouth based, more of interactive based, and just sharing a reel, sharing a TikTok, things like that.
DJ Ano.
Well, I don't want to be repetitive.
No, but let me, so you've been dropping songs, you have E1 on beats, you have like Ashur on like some hip hop beats. So how did you approach that, building that connection? You know, did a friend tell you to do that?
I think it was just an idea that came up to my mind when I was just sitting doing music. I mean, I'm a DJ obviously, so like I'm doing music every single day and working on different things. Not only do I do Assyrian events, but I do events out of the Assyrian, culture. So I wanted to kind of put both of them together. And like everybody else was saying, trends, social media, all that is happening so quick. Everything's switching so fast, and like you got to keep up with it. And the way I thought that I can keep up with it is to make music where not only, the younger people will like it, but everybody would enjoy it at the same time. And it was just a test run, honestly. Like we made one song where I think it was an Evan song, and we mashed it up with another hip hop song and just threw it out there, and we got good feedback from that. So we decided to keep it going, and here we are today.
I'm going to move to vision and future because I want to leave time for Q&A. We wanted to make it as interactive as possible, but with time, we'll make do. If Assyrian music is to have a bigger moment on the global stage, what would it take? And what lessons can we borrow from mainstream pop and electronic music? And what must always stay uniquely Assyrian?
I mean, personally, I think the cultural aspect, where having the Zurna Davula has to always be there. We can never go wrong with Zurna Davula. That's part of our culture. The singers, whether it's the old singers from back in the days all the way till now, their voice is very special. We all listen to them for their voice. I think keeping them, in the culture and keeping them singing and going, I think that has to be a must in that aspect.
I'll actually piggyback off of what Ano said and earlier what Ramsen said. For us to be able to make an impact on a global scale, we need, I think, education. Not necessarily going to college or something like that, but even within our recording arts, we need to strive for a certain level of standards, whether that's on the recording engineering side, the production side, the mixing side, the mastering side, making sure our product will actually stand up next to something in the top 40.
Yeah.
On top of that, to your point, keeping innately what makes us Assyrian, which is our melodies and our lyrics and our story, but opening up the door to maybe international collaborations from other cultures in different languages, so that exposure of Assyrian music reaches beyond our, however many people we have, what is it, 3 to 5 million people left, but to expand that into other populations and to be able to introduce other audiences to Assyrian music. But firstly, we need to be educated on how to make that product, and then innovate, try something new, expand, collaborate, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with these guys as well, because like I think we've kept our traditions alive as much as we can. I think we need to a little bit take another step up and change the game a little bit, right? Like we see a lot of newer singers like Ashur. A lot of newer singers come out with songs, and they're doing similar stuff that we've done already, and that people before us did. We're looking for singers like Ashur, or I know I'm putting him on a spot, but we're looking for singers like Ashur and this newer generation to come up and do something like, so I can listen to it and say, wow, this is different. That's what keeps the new generation going. If it's not, if we're just going to keep going back and forth, and listen, I love our traditions, but I have kids that are 19 and 18. They listen to our music all the time, but at the same time, they have different ideas. They listen to American music. They listen to rap. They listen to, like my daughter listens to Alicia Keys. My daughter sings English. Dad, only with you if you want, but I want to sing English because it's more innovative for her. There's too many genres, too many different styles to do in that language. But I think we should support the newer singers and give them ideas, as musicians, as the people in the crowd, because ultimately it's you guys that make the decision on the singers, really. If it's without the fans, without the people that's listening to your songs and promoting you and helping you, and we're just a voice that's not going to get anywhere. So I think that's very important.
Ashur?
أنا أمرا مختمر رمسن خبراني قرق باشي إني لزمرتا إلى بخبراني وبهاوز من دي قمايا وقالت زمارة من ميوزك ساقلة خرطة خمن دي خينا بغزاين رابا ناشا مخوبة لأدانة زمارة وادة like music videos يعني خدش خراجة لزوزة زودة بطبالوطة لخشولة سودانة بوش مطايلة اللبت ناشا of course إن خبراني هاوز وزمرة إلى مختمر رمسن إني ليوم دي بسيمة من خبراني من هاوز من زمرة ما طل ناشا but Rabadus, I totally agree with Ramsen مدمرة قرق خدش خا flavor خاطة دارك ومديانة تخ أخني واده أخني تخ شوري خاطة. We're trying our best to do that وغزايخ ناشق قبالة لأن مديانة تخ مصلوية إنا still قرق بلخخ من دي خينا بوش unique تاوى من دي تمصلخ له.
Beautiful. هدية بين عزن أنا أرخد ديان بالكتل بوقارة. They may have questions, so we're going to open up to Q&A to be a little bit more interactive. Marty's had his hand up for 20 minutes. Martin Umaran.
رابا خدين لخن غزايا قطوخون رابا إيوان فان من سوروتي أنا وانا إدوان خمشاشن غزنا قرمسن وسوروتو مني رابا بدل.
And I sang for your wedding.
كوسورا وشابيدا وكل الموضوع خرواتك من سوروتن. But anyway, I Papa Smurf. That's why I don't have a beard. He calls me Papa Smurf. But lyrics are very important. Araba من زمرياته بريشنا خسابة بتأخر نشمخ زمرياته قمتها وهل إديو يوما على ما نخلي الله جنيوان إنا هلا عاشور خين كل زمرياته تسرقون كل يشمخ له هل إديو يوما ناشخين بزمارينا كتاود دين إديو يوما خكمة من نهر أن خبراني يعني إذا بس ديونا pigeon ين love وخبي و إنا إتلخ زمرياته خاطة ديا مجد عاشور ديوخن رامسن ناشخين as a producer and DJ we see the flavor and داخل ناشر بخواطينا إنا أنا قيت لما خبرانة قد هاوي بريشة لا هاوي like copied من تركيا من قرداية من عرباية but إنا قد مجد خامخلا قد دعطيت داخلة what's that the purpose سبب is the call for more writers of lyrics because that's important هاوي بسيبا نونو داود برخو كتاوة تتوالان يوسف بنشا نخينة تتلان إنا it's important for especially قد دعطيت so مديلا رأيان آخر دام من دي
أنا همزة من هاتي همزة أوكي أنا مارن I get your point من تدمار الخبرانة إن اتخخ جاي مندي simple بش مطايل اللي ضرابة ناشة especially young خا example يوم لتي لازمرت تقاني بس قام أدخله maybe in 2 minutes أنا ونونو فيس تايم بلت لهاوس نونو برخو خبي وقاري قاله musician من كندا بلت لهاوس مني قام شدرنا قانونو قام أود لي فيس تايم مر بالخامة لا هرتامة خبرة مني برق لازمرتها خخي جاي مارق بلطة من لبة بسنايوتا يمطي اللبة so رابع أن انقيتها لما تخرخ أنا in my humble opinion طلال قريش أمرخ album X Love I think it's one of the best albums with all my respect Ramsen ويدله إتلا ستايل غاني إتلا شمت غاني إن خخي جاي simplicity wins so ليلة about زمرتا يرختو music ومخيلة نخراية إن رابع أن انقيتها شو قخلة أو روخا يعني دوس أودك مديانة simple ما تلبت ناشا إن أب خبراني رابع أن انقتله ولت رابع مخقمته I agree with you لت مخقمته خبراني مخستايل رابي آشور بتسرقيس على من يخلي legend رابي إيوان لمتي أن زمرياته دوس زمرياتا أخني تخشوري خاته قخا بغزاي قشنة واينا لا رابع شنة وايلا هيت خرت ليلة بياشا مخزمرت أمرخ خزمرت إيوان خازادة أمرخ example so بلاخي خلدوم دي جاروبخ وتراين our best قد منطق مندي لا أختي مختن مارا مندي سناي يعني ما طلبتناش بس أبز مرياتي خينة وإتلن رابع يعني مخ يوسف منشة وإتلن رابع كتوانة شيرة we're trying to شوقخ له أو روخا still خايا we do our best to do that Ramsen
Hi guys, my name is Emil. I'm a DJ. I've been a DJ since 1981. Most of you haven't even born by then, okay? So I wanted to make sure you guys understood some of our experiences, and Ano and Rama here probably agree with me, that whenever we actually work with singers, I really want to recommend that you guys actually insist on getting a really great system before you actually get up there and sing. And the sound engineer, of course, because I've been doing this criticism for 30 plus years to every single freaking convention I've ever been to, and there's no one listens to us. And it's ridiculous because when you have 2,000 people in a room, you can't get away with a system that's going to be 400 people. What happens is you blast the hell out of it, and it sounds terrible. So, and it actually includes this convention here. So my apologies to everybody who's organizing it, but you're just not listening. I'm sorry. The other thing I was going to say is, yeah.
He's just here, don't worry.
So I work very close to Ashur B'Tsargas. I co-produced one of his Nishmi album, and I wanted to make sure you understand that new singers, and more power to you, Aziza, new singers really have to actually listen to DJs, and they should not create their songs and music only because they are actually going to be great for gigs. I know you guys make your money from that, but that stops you from growth and listenability, okay? When I'm in the car, I want to listen to something great, Assyrian music. Unfortunately, my choices are very limited, right? And you have some really good stuff. So I haven't been able to listen to your stuff, unfortunately, because honestly, I didn't know you, so it's nice to meet you. But I want to make sure that we continuously push the envelope with music production, mixing, and mastering is so important. And when you're creating music, just don't have anything limit you. Please, not especially having it be danceable. Just go with your feelings. That's just my 2 cents. I think you agree with me, Michael.
I was going to actually ask him to answer that. I think mixing, mastering is kind of your thing. But before that, I just want to mention, so the sound systems that we book, so they're good sound systems, but they're not enough for the hall that's back here, right? Like this sound system, for example, it's not enough for the hall back here. Number one, it's budget-wise, and that's not on us, that's on the provider. If it's the convention, if it's other, other entities, whatever, I don't want to point fingers, but that's number one, is the budget. Number two, there's like this hall in particular, this one is like really bad noise. So this hall in particular has a lot of room effect, which doesn't help the sound system at all. It's very hard to control the sound unless you have the right sound system. Yeah, you have fillers, you have line arrays, which is these speakers that come down like, on a truss. Again, it all comes down to your budget, how much you can spend, and how unlimited you are. Also, the sound engineer aspect. Sound engineer yattabasit music الدين, what it has to sound like. Because we've worked with a lot of American sound engineers, the only thing they do good on stage is bass and drums. Everything else you can't hear. It sounds really weird. So yeah, I just wanted to answer those for you, but he can answer mix and mastering.
In what aspect?
And like albums and stuff.
Really, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. It's just a matter of everybody wanting to better themselves through education and making sure the product stands up with something that would be on the radio on an American station. Yeah.
شلام عليكم وبس ما كان أخن الدهت بقتا خمندي شابيرة لي خاميتا زمرتا أطوريتا وزمارة إتلي رابا معبدانوتا مالبتد لي شانا. So in lyrics you can learn a lot of Assyrian words, and the writers are good in my opinion. I'm just a listener, I'm not a musician, but the music seems to be either going downhill a little bit or being borrowed from other cultures. We do have good writers. I think the music is good. Rabbi Giwargis Agassi is just a mabua. He's a well of goodness. And there's other ones. What are we doing, or how are we perceiving the Assyrian song to retain its originality, to stay what it is instead of divert or digress from its original root? And I understand music is very difficult to control because it's the audience, and the good tune is a good tune, whether it's borrowed from Eastern Europe or from the Arab music or from the Farsi. But what is the original Assyrian tune, and how can we maintain it, and what are we doing to maintain it, to keep it good? I understand our songs are limited. They're like one movement in it or two movements max. If we look at the Eastern Syrioyo, the Syrian song is more rich, and it has a lot of melody, and it has multi-movements in it. But are we doing this like George Homme was, like Ashur mentioned, he was awesome, and that he was more, are we thinking about this? Are we doing anything to protect it and maintain it, retain it, and grow it? Because a lot of the new singers, maybe they're not aware of this, and they just want to become famous quick, or think that they have a good voice talent. And yes, هاد بسيمة رامسن آتي بشان زمرخ خلولي خلولة قمايا. So you're looking good. I have gray hair, so you don't have stress, singer. So you're doing awesome.
Unlike Marty, I don't have stress now.
It seems like the question has to do more with. I've actually had conversations about this recently. It seems like it's a debate between whether Assyrian music should be pure and purely Assyrian with no influence from the Western world, or because much of what we like from our golden era of Assyrian music, it is very Western actually. It's not Eastern at all. Some of our melodies might have Eastern influences, but our arrangement style, our productions from back then, it's always been Western influenced for what we tend to call Assyrian music. So then it's just a debate of whether we're talking about Assyrian music in its pure form or in its pop form. And if it's in its pure form, it's actually there's a lot of academic movements to maintain that sort of thing. One of our friends, Lolita Emanuel, she's a researcher and she's an Assyrian musicologist. And part of her entire PhD program is to study that Assyrian music in the pure form and to archive it, maintain it, and make sure that it doesn't get lost. However, to have that kind of like utopia that's what we're going to be doing in pop music, that borrowing from other cultures, people have borrowed from our culture as well, but it's that give and take, that conversation between cultures, between languages is what enriches music. Because if you keep music in this echo chamber, this like silo of just Assyrians, unless an original thought is birthed from that, we're going to be continuously just echoing the same thing over and over and over. That crosstalk of exploring other cultures or exploring new sounds is what will make our music more innovative and modern. It's experimentation, it has to happen that way. But in terms of the preservation of what has come before, on the academic level, there's a lot happening actually in the university space.
So that's why I said average song costs about $2,000 to produce, because the writers, they take about $300 to $500, and the person that's putting the hawas takes another $500, and then you have the arrangement, and this is an average. This is just an arranger playing on computers and making a music, like a song. That's not including if you want to bring up clarinet player, a guitar player, a violin player, drummer, and then those are all extra. That's about $3,000. Then you got a music video, minimum music video, low budget for our community, $2,000. That's about $5,000 for one song. So,
and that's on the budget.
And that's
like,
on
like
us.
you're saying, that's like on
we don't
a budget
have,
scale.
Yeah, that's on a budget. That's a low budget scale, and I with these things, but people sometimes don't understand. It's like, why don't you guys make more videos? Why don't you guys? We don't have a record label. We don't have sponsorships like $50,000, $60,000 sponsorships. We don't have Khamillat, or Amerikaya, like millions and millions of people that buy your music, right? We have our millet, and then our millet is not going to listen. We have 4 million people in the whole world. If you see a music video that hits 2-3 million views, it's really surprising. It's either promoted or fake views, because there's no such a thing as a certain song is going to hit out of 4 million, 3 million people are going to listen to your song. That doesn't work. It's just mind-boggling for me, But I mean, again, it all depends on budget. It all depends on Anindana.
بانا بقران وعروخا بقارا يعني هدي أختون ثري دبس زمارتون إن أوديتون دختود لإيوانا غاسي سرقن Gabriel. You could do it, but there is a way to do it. خينا بغزايتون أخنا زبرياتن كلها هدي لنا جورج يعني لا لنا جورج جوليانو طولن توخن زبرخن the same songs but different. You have the best voice. Now it's your time to educate yourself, get further, and create your own songs. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't always be إيوانا غازمارة زمريا إيه مرخ جزمارة على قيت music يبني لك ينوت زمرتا إن أني وين يولوخن allow you to use it, but that's, I think, ethically, and it's not fair for you because you're a very good singer, both of you. So please work hard and harder to be your own styles. You are singers, the best singers in Assyrian. But don't look for the money should not stop you. Is it going to school, studying more music? Something you have to do to have your own style. Because one time I was at chat room with Sargun Gabriel. He sang Zmertet Simon la David Simon مريقا برونو الشات روم مري سرقون آتي اطلق زمرياتي من قدمته هالبليلة ان زمرت لي برقي. Why did you زمرخ David Simon? David Simon it's a different style. أون إلى دشتا آتي والطورة. So the voice you have, you should not لقلي ديتون زمارة خينة wooden your styles. Ashur خاطرة please start right. آتي رابع experience. Start right, do new songs. لها عدي أنا جيت أزن تركيا the same song سورايا. خشلي Athens خاقلو ده أخينا أخلاً أطورايا إيو خلانة. So أنا هدية بطيتن retirement, right? I promised myself I'm gonna go back to my music because I stopped because of running for my life, right? Money should never stop you. Please don't put, we need support, we need, no. If you have ambition, do it. Itlochun the best voice. That's my encouraging for you. Thank you. Stop imit zginawa yamrikh la ginawa la yatituna ya zmariyat khina. قالوخن بسيمة راه بخلط.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Hello. Hi guys. First of all, great panel, Peter. Michael, this question is a bit for you because you mentioned the give and take, and I also strongly believe in this. And maybe it sounds like a joke, but I grew up on Bollywood movies, and the Indian music industry is really paving the way, I feel like, with the influences of the West and the East. And I was just wondering if you take any inspiration from that, and if not, please do. If you need a list, I can send you one. Because there's just so much to learn, there's so much similarities in the culture, in the lyrics. Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
I personally don't create music with that style embedded. However, I know it's not the same, but much of my clientele lately has been from the Punjabi scene, actually. A lot of my mix and mastering clients have been from the Punjabi space. And you're right, I think their scene currently is trying to push that envelope. I don't know if you've noticed, even in American spaces, there's not necessarily American spaces, but like the dance music space. There's people like Marshmallow, there's people like Martin Garrix. They're putting out songs with straight up Hindi and Punjabi lyrics in there, but they're playing it on 102.7 Kiss FM. So to me, the inspiration that I take from that is that Assyrian music doesn't have to be limited to our population, like you were saying. If we can play Jalebi on the radio, then why not one of their next records? It's totally possible. But that crosstalk, that give and take, I think they're doing a great job of mimicking what the Western industries are doing in terms of like how they're marketing, how they're collaborating, how they're putting their music out. But you're right, it's really rich. I do enjoy the music as well.
Even for the singers, I want to encourage them to listen more to Indian music, particularly the songs, because it's literally the same thing. And maybe like even better because they have been writing movies about British resistance and all that since day one. So there's so much to learn from them. Yeah.
I just have a quick question. First, I just want to say what you guys do is like very noble, because you could easily sell out make Arabic music, and because you said there's 4 million Assyrians, there's 800 million, whatever, how many ever Arabic people or Kurdish people, but you choose to make less to make Assyrian music because of how much you love your culture. So first I want to say thank you guys, because like, you guys don't get enough credit. Thank you. And I have like a very optimistic outlook on Assyrian music. I listen to it on my way to work, all through work. And I like when people borrow songs. Like the other day, I was like a Janan Sawa and Wissam, what is it, Wissam Yusuf? I forgot. It was like a Khiga mix, and he sang the song, it goes like, something like that. And I went to my dad, I was like, Dad, what is the song? This is like amazing. And he got emotional because he was like, oh, my dad used to sing this all the time. So like, if no Assyrian singers sing like throwbacks, those songs would get lost and we would never know them. And then these new like Zorna mixes that singers are doing, like the new keyboards, and like I think Janan Sawa Edward, he was doing he did like a ole 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 on a Khagi Khuda mix, and I was like, this is like so good. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. But like the last 3 songs that went like really viral are like Khashimsha, Kasi, and like recently Dima Khalia. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look. So like, what do you think is like the formula to make a good song? Because it's really unpredictable, and then next thing you know, everyone's putting it on TikTok and Instagram, and it's like you can't escape the song. I'm sick of Khashimsha now because of how much I hear it. So anyway,
I think it's so for those 3 particular songs that you said. So Khashimsha, it's a folkloric song. People used to sing it back in maybe the 50s, 60s, and actually women sang the song back in the 50s and 60s. So Zmariyat Makhdanna ti Miral Khaten, they're very simple lyrics, and it's the chorus that catches the person. It's really the chorus. I can sing you 3 verses of like Ibayannakh ubayatli ugaranakh ugaratli, but you know, at the end of the day, it's that 3-4 words. If that kicks in your head, it's over, game over. And I'll tell you an example. Dushala, it's been out since 2009. I still have people ask, Anas qadli minno. So like, it's like, you know, it's just that little, that 1-2 words, that punchline, you know, that's what it is. Mutmarash. لا نخبط اشرب ناخذ رخص يا خالتي او برقاده.
That's it.
Thank you.
Maran زمارة جيل مخديوخون already تلان زمارة كانت بزمارة نسمارياتوخون so بخنخ مطيطن دايما so أنا قلت.
Look, أخني, we do it honestly. Look, and I'm sure Ashur will agree. أخني, first and foremost, أول من دي أدخل because ملة دياننا number 1. أطرايخ بيخ زمرخ لشان ديان بيخ produce أدخ music ديان. It takes a toll on us with traveling, with making songs, making music. Gabuya khabrane, gabuya hawaza, midyane. Takes a toll. It's not easy. You know, but we love to do it because for example, like yesterday, a bunch of youth dancing. I'm a huge youth supporter. Huge. So like when I see younger people برقادة بخمالة وبزمارة من دنس مرات الأطوراية بصبا لخزنوا قدنا مشتياته من قبل خزنوا خلقته قمطرة. So if I provide the right songs for them, or Ashur comes after me and provides the right songs for them, that day when I'm not going to sing anymore, Ashur is going to take that spotlight, for example, and be like, here, I'm going to take this. You know, it's just like Akhni. I started singing when the legendary singers were at their peaks. I mean, a lot of people know. And I've played drums before. And I played in a band with all the singers. So I'm a musician. So believe me, it's nothing less. Sure, we make money, we charge money, we make money, we make a living from that money. At the same time, we give back a lot to the community, which a lot of people don't talk about. But we do give back. Like every single singer that I know, Gura Surah, has given back to the community at one point or another. And Garak, we have to, help each other. So this is beautiful. I wish next time we do this, it's a bigger crowd and more questions. And we want your ideas. And even after this, you have our Instagram accounts, Mediana. Please message us. If you don't like something, say something. You know what I'm saying? Because akhni, we listen, you know, you guys are the listeners. We think where something's good doesn't mean it's good. You know. So
hi guys, I had a question right here. Not so much a question, but my friends and I grew up on Sergon Gabriel, Linda George, you know, Ala Khubba album, 1989, I still listen to it, you know, and I think that because you guys still sing the older classic songs, it gives me that nostalgic feeling. Like I want to listen to it all the time, even at parties, I don't care. Like I would rather listen to that song instead of Zorna or Dawood. Because sometimes Rishi Marre, but you know, 20 minutes of Zorna Dawood, like I love our culture, I love it, but I want to hear some good old school songs, right? But Ramsen, for example, you paved the way for house music. Your first album, Sahda, come on. You know, like you changed that for us and we grew up listening to that.
thank you.
Now, the mashups that are going around and trending, what do you guys think of that? Like Jay Ishu, Sonia Odishu. We have millions of views on those reels and videos. So how can we implement that type of technology now in terms of like allocating your budget, right? You have lyricists, you have all the, how can we maybe, I guess, grow with that idea with mashups and slowly, you know, bring back some old school vibes too? What do you guys think of that right now?
I mean, I think personally, I do a lot of mashups. I don't know if some of you guys have heard them. Tomas has put them on his videos, so some of the songs you guys are hearing are from the songs that me and my team have made. I like thinking out the box, like you said, but at the same time, I love the singers, everyone that you were mentioning that you like listening to, but we like to put a little bit of flavor into it, you know? We like to be different. For example, I went, you know, to Europe this past summer, and there was a popular song that was happening in Greece. It was called Matin Sani, and it goes like, I don't know if you guys have heard it, Ahlaleni, Ahlana. And it's just Ahlaleni, Ahlana, and then it has like a 4-bar verse of just a song, and then it was just a beat. But it was so popular all summer long. It was kind of one of the song of the summers in Europe. And I came back to my team, and like one day I was listening to it, and I was like, you know what? Adkhalela, adkhela, adkhalela. And it just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, you know what? Why don't we do that? Why don't we turn that into a wonderful song? And you know, me and my team are working on something like that to give you guys a little bit of a flavor, something different. So appreciate you for liking the songs and the mashup. So stay tuned.
I just want to point out something. Actually, we have an artist here sitting with us. Her name is Tenise Marie. Tenise, I heard her sing in TikTok the first time, I believe it was. And she's singing an Assyrian song with her guitar. She's a musician, she's a singer. She's got an amazing voice, amazing personality, and I think people like that should be recognized all the time. So Tenise, welcome to our show. Yeah, follow her on Instagram, yes.
We're actually looking for a female singer as well for a song that we want to create. So
right there.
I think Ramsen just connected us. We'll talk to you.
I'll be the manager.
Yeah, 40%, I guess. We're looking for a female that could sing, preferably. Yes.
You can try to sing.
We can do an audition.
Shalom alaikum. بخلطة لي شيلة من تمل. I have actually, sorry, it's not a question. I'm going to give you an opinion and a suggestion. First, I want to say thank you so much for all of you, singers, musicians. You've provided so much for our community. And we are, second thing I want to tell you, we're very sorry. We're very sorry that we're putting so much on you. We're not just expecting music from you and art. We're expecting you to preserve our language. We expect you to preserve our culture, our traditions, while still entertain us, while still, switch it up for us. We get bored sometimes, same style of music, same style of old music or new music. We really put so much on you. So that's why I want to say sorry for that. But really, that's what it takes for you and for us to continue and to survive and thrive as a community. And you can't do it by yourself, on your own, and we can't do it on our own as people. We look at you as leaders. Politicians are not the only leaders we have. Musicians are also our leaders in culture sense and the art sense. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you so much for all you do. And I think for us to take what we have now to the next level, and we do need to take it to the next level, is build organizations that could sponsor and support you guys for all what you do. Quick example is like what we do in Beit Kanu, our nonprofit organization for preserving language and culture. We produce 10 songs. A whole organization is only producing 10 songs a year. That's full. We have 12 employees overseas in Syria and Iraq, and over 20 volunteers that help us produce songs and cartoon and animation, all that. And with all that effort, we're only producing 10 songs a year. So I know how much it takes to produce songs, and I believe, maybe this is a call for us as a community, that we need to build organizations that can fund musicians and artwork and people like Denise also here, to be able to take this to the next level. Thank you again. Oh, you have a question? Agree. And we need that, and we need much more. Appreciate it. Thank you.
أنا أختي قلت لي خمندي أمر قم بقارة.
رابط همزم أشور.
لا لأنهم زمن خدشة همزمن. قمت بقرة فخلطة بس قلت لي خمندي أمر تم الخشلة يسترداي فرقوالا. برزمر رامسن وجوليانا وجولي وبانزمر والي آتور نيسان لخا مني مخوني له. He's a musician, إلى videographer too, director too, إلى همزوم أخوة مرة من جلدة مرة خيوطة رابلة ويتب يعني busy especially خاصة في أمريكا مرة من جلدة لنخيشو convention مرة so to be honest همزوم أخوة خدش شتية خدش رابة قد هاون عشان شتية كلها صبيوتة ولا صبيوتة بلطة مرة من جلدة لنتيا مرة so خدش رخيقا من دنا مديانة مرة I'm so glad I'm so happy that I came مرة ملة ديا مخت أمرخ بعربي يعني بخير إلى ستيل أخني مخا برون ديا ملد مخت مرخ أخونا أكد لا أتلي قارة كم ديت مرخ دوسي وكنت ماني بقرة بقارة ينود لآت خبرة دوسي لا إنا we realized yesterday متغزيلة أنا متلبا رشلة أخني أوخ ملت الرابة قويتة الرابة قبارخ ريقخ من أطروات من سوريا من عراق وملت إلى خايا ماني تيلي وادا زمرتها بلبا صبية تيلي بلاخة ملت خايلة من بردوة من دي قماية convention اتله huge effect positively on دي ملت إلى أمرانة وزمارة تلدنا مديانة وفستيفالز تيلي وادا أمرانة تلدنا مديانة أمتا لد كنت لو هذا خزمرته اني لخراجه البا اني لخراجه اسراء البا مخت مصيته على ناطره وعلى خميله اي ملت واتلن اقارب من دي تخواده وجاروبخ اودخ the best we can do قد شوقخ ملت خيتا وكتخب ارخد قانه هاو تون رابا بسيمه
Hi, Shlomo. Taudi Sagi, thank you so much for this opportunity. Also a suggestion. For me, Dushala was the first song, the East Assyrian song I listened to on repeat, which really ignited my interest in Eastern Assyrian music. And for us, like Western Assyrians, we don't have as much musicians or like new singers than the Madnhoye have. So for us, it would be very nice, especially as a DJ, to maybe also include Western Assyrian songs, because we don't have that. Eastern Assyrians have amazing DJs, remixes, mashups, and for us, like, we love listening to our old songs, but that's all we have. So just a suggestion maybe to look into mashups even as singers, mashups, not just like English and Assyrian mashups, but maybe you could do mashups with both our dialects to also symbolize the unity, to show this is one language, we are the same people, one nation, just two dialects. So maybe to focus on music as a symbol of unity, of power, and that can strengthen us as a community even more. But thank you so much for everything you're doing already. Todi Sagi.
بقارة خينا؟ No? Oh, one more. Hey, the comment in بقارة.
مخلتها بقاري إلى العاشور قال اختراية ناش الطورة وأنا طوريت رابط لي قاربي قد جاروبة مخيت لا أطوريوت تلا جو دنا بنوني خاتانا تطلع كلها مزمي إنجلس ليه مش بسورة إنما بجاروبنا كتوي قاري أزي مدرشتا بقاري راب سمبلي له أتي يطن باب خساون كل زميرنا بزمريوة راوي بابي مرقدية يا بابي قبل من يخوى مرمتنو أنه recorder just in case it doesn't go lost سبتلقى وراوي الديان كد مشتوتة كد جماعة أطراية كخلولة simple as in a house have to have what do you call it today is a bridal shower or men's I don't know what they do but we have rawe yalude وقا بنات الدين so I wish that you can revive that. There's a lot of elders we have, and I know they're asking the same question. They know my dad. He was a good rawe, but he have all the choir too. So that's my wish that it can revive the rawe. Qala turaya, qala dashtaya, just revive it. You know what I mean? You don't need music. You just need a group. Choir. Thank you.
Thank you. أنا أؤمن دي بلاخن إلا راوي بصراحة يعني to be honest قخيلن جوربا زمرن بس مغ أو ستايل وذن بأرخ خيتا لا exactly زمرت راوي بس أمرخ لمقام أمري له روحية يعني feeling دو زمرة ودلي خزمرتها خجية قورة هاي شما ملوالي إلى قربة من دو ستايل هاوز ديا خرتا ودلن خبادة باقية أبا هاي قربة الدو روح الدو فيلينج دي رياشتا جاروبن بأرخي ماسن شوقن أومن دي إنا قد أنا زمرن راوي جاروبن لابن جرب لي زمري قباتا يعني خرشخينا بياجا بابي طردوا عليه إنا زهمتي لا صناعي اديو تشقي بزامر قرق لابخ منه قرق نوخل السيكرت منه خاصك جربخ yeah thank you
Houghton Basima Raba. Thank you so much for this panel. In the Kamashina Diakhnan Shutistan education program, in the beginning it was all it was political and academic. And my vision and the Federation's vision is to expand it to incorporate all sectors of our community. Not because we want them to impose just wisdom on you, but to show the strength of the talent that we have in our community. So you guys are a big part of it, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just by looking in the crowd, I see Denise, and I see our composer, Anobel Joseph. And we are so honored that you guys are here. You guys are all part of that, growing our community forward. So thank you so much. Thank you, Peter, for organizing it.
Dr. Joseph Denavi, everybody.
Recording how Basimaka Atra TV and AGN TV, they've been here from the beginning, since yesterday. It was sound engineer at hotel. Palachad AGN. So how Tura Basimaka Hayarta. Thank you.
إيمان وايلة أكسيدنت اتنرابا ناشا ليطي متبصلتا قد شكلي اتلا نسيانة بدنا كيسس ات انجري لو و بيالباية قريمخ ان آتن ينكل بتت بيتا خزموخن يطانة اتلوخن بوقارة مخبرون المنيان التلفون 8 أربع شوا وچو 8 تري وچو 5 خا يعني توقن بد injuryrights.com شمي إلى توني كالغراكس كي يمزمن لشان خلية يما